Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes, let's love.
Hey, Tiffany, Tyray, remember we met at a funeral?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
What's up,
we met at your cousin's funeral.
Yeah, Pookie. I'm gonna miss him. He was sweet.
Can I steal a fry? Can I steal a fry?
Yeah. Go on, get your fry, boy.
It's normally just to like take people from things who I barely know, right? It's like fine.
Yeah.
So
Hey, yeah. I'm just gonna blink my eyes at you. Blink, 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 blink.
Are you running away? So you want to hang out sometime? You want to hang out?
Where are you going? Hey, I was excited to see you here.
Wait a minute.
I was so excited to see you. I'm basically telling you everything.
No. Here's just so you understand. Like, could a date, like not like hanging out, like we're gonna go out and have food. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
I got it.
With
a
me?
Date. Yeah.
Like not like a date that is like Medjool date, not like a sweet Middle Eastern dessert.
I'm not sure I know what that is. And are you ready for this?
All I know is I'm taking my trauma and throwing it out there in the world. I probably need to work on myself, probably another 8 years. But I want to date, and there are cameras following me. So want to go out and go bowling or do things that regular people do while I stare at you and think about masturbating to you?
Sounds good.
It's the Single Life Season 4.
Season 4. Oh, the Single Life is back, y'all. It is back.
Oh, okay. I wanted to crawl out of my skin watching this. This was one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch. And I've watched a sister bite her other sister's hangnail off.
You have.
Toenail off.
Mm-hmm. You have.
The sheer, like, I wanted to pull off my skin watching him talk to this girl.
It's really...
It was bad.
It's really uncomfortable. It was really uncomfortable. Boy...
What a rogues season. Gallery they've assembled this season.
Oh, this is going to be great. By the way, for people with misophonia or whatever it's fucking called, I never remember it. I apologize. I have a cold, so I've got tea, cough drops. I got the whole thing.
Drug it back in.
I did. I got more than schnitzel in Vienna.
Are we going to have to hear about it?
Oh,
you're
yeah.
Sad, desperate.
Oh, yeah. If I have to hear about all the gross details of your sex life, you get to hear all about mine.
Mine are classic tales of love and intrigue.
What are mine?
Drunken ruts with people who may be conscious.
I want to argue with that. I really want to fight back on that, but
if I asked you to describe them and their appearance, you're like, I can't really remember.
I can't remember that. It does tell the tale that I was like, oh, I'm going to tell this story on the podcast, and this happened like 4 days ago, and I couldn't remember the name of the guy until this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But it came back to me.
You totally got sick from this person.
No, I don't know I don't think it was him.
Sure. Because I will say colds are easy to catch, but
yes,
especially you get a cold much easier from like touching something or actual contact.
I also was drinking after people because I made some friends in Vienna. So
why were you drinking after people?
Because we were like sharing a beer. They're like, oh, try this. And we were like having a drink. I made friends.
I don't understand this making friends when you're traveling.
When you're traveling alone,
I've traveled alone too. The friends that I made are the ones I fucked. That's it.
See, that's the deal. Is I don't have to fuck it. Although you would. One was more of a sister. He even said that to me. He's like, but the other one. So these guys, I didn't have sex with them because I didn't want to have sex with them. We were just friends.
Were you just meeting them at a gay bar?
We met at a gay bar. We really are very lucky that we're gay because, like, if we ever go to a big city, we know, like, we can go to a gay bar and you just meet your community. So I just went to a bar because basically my friends back here in LA were like, go to a gay bar by yourself. I'm like, I don't want to. And they said, go. And they made me, my friends Nicholas and Kobe. So I went, and actually really glad I did. Went, had a beer at this place called Mango.
I feel like you're like a Tina Fey character in something, and your friends are like, do it.
They make me do it. Yeah, they did.
You're like Chantel's friends.
No, it's like Chantel's friends. Yeah, go, like, get out there. So, because I'm actually quite shy when it comes to meeting, dating. Like, I'll be honest, I related more to Tyray than I did to Tiffany in that scene. I'm terrible. I'm horrible at it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's not pretty.
No,
yeah.
I get so inhibited, and it's terrible. So then I met them, but they were very sweet. Originally from Mexico. One guy lives in Ireland learning English, but he kind of is hopping around Europe and using Ireland as his home base and kind of working. He's younger, doing that life. And then his best friend is from Mexico, but works for the United Nations and has lived all over in Europe. Get
to the fucking.
No,
but I don't give a fuck.
He sounds like a guy you would fuck. No, but anyway, they became friends, and like, you want to go to this other bar? And we ended up like bar hopping and dancing till like 4 a.m. I've never done that.
Yeah, no wonder you got sick.
Worth it. It was a ball. We had a great time.
Great way to start us off. January 1st.
He said, if you ever come to Vienna, don't you dare get a hotel. Stay with me. It was very sweet. And he was like, do you have any hot friends in Los Angeles? Because I do travel there for work. And I said, I do. And I thought, but I can't have Poodle meet him because he's a total top. He's cute. He speaks 4 languages. He works for the United Nations, and you would ruin that for me.
I don't see how I would. Do you have a picture of said gentleman?
I do. You would think he was attractive. Slim, Mexican guy. He's from Mexico. Big nose. Blondish hair and hazel green eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need stats.
So that was one night, but then there was another night.
Why didn't you bang him?
I didn't get that thought. Again, I could be friend. I don't have sex with my friends. If I
have
meet them,
friends.
I am the one gay friend you have that you haven't banged.
That's not true. That's not true.
Name someone else who.
Well, I haven't banged them yet.
I'm telling you. So, but it was like meeting them was like a vibe I got from you. It was just like, I wasn't into it.
All right, get to the banging.
I'm demisexual. I have to connect with someone.
Oh, here we go.
I really realize
you're a 45-year-old demisexual. We gotta speed this up.
I've got 2 more months of 44. Although nobody thought I was 44. Thank you, Dr. Rustan. But anyway, so sorry, I just put in a cough drop. But before that, I went to this bar called The Village, which is funny because that's the first gay bar we went to in Dallas.
And like every city's got a gay bar called The Village.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
There's like a village in like so many cities.
That explains why the bartender didn't care when I told him that. That makes sense.
Oh my God, I bet you were ridiculous. You were just telling people, oh my, when I come here, people are like, who is this rube?
I made friends. I thought it went well. Vienna is a beautiful city. It was a little too crowded, but I wanted to go for the Christmas stuff. And I wanted to get Delta Diamond, and I got all that. But
okay, tell me about the railing.
So
Jesus.
All right. So I go into the Village. This is my first night there. Again, my friends were like, go out. And I was like, okay. So I went to a gay bar. I sat on nobody was really there yet. And I talked to the bartender for a little bit and he was like, people will come in later. I was like, okay, sure. And I'm having a beer. All the beers there are great. And so I'm having a beer and then like I'm having a second beer. And then this guy comes up to me and he just sits by me. He doesn't say a word, but you can just feel, when you feel the lyric.
Yeah. I've seen that move.
He was probably about like 50, I would say.
Yeah. You got yourself a Freud.
Yeah.
Daddy.
I wasn't able to go to that museum because I was going to go on the last day, and that's when I got sick.
You missed out. It's a good museum.
I know. I didn't get to see that. That's when I was going to go see a string quartet do Mozart, go see Mozart's
You
house.
didn't even see any music?
I was going to do it all on Saturday.
So you were going out to gay bars and didn't get to see any of the culture.
The last day was terrible. I was sick. Y'all, if you travel internationally, bring all the medicines you ever think you're going to need.
That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's what you learn. So this guy,
especially if you go to China.
yes. So he sits by me. Now look, I'm trying to take a page out of your book because I really am.
It's a long book.
It's a long book and it's kind of fragmented and it says turn to page 200 and then you got to go back to 2. It's very confusing. But it's a book. Y'all get ready. This is going to be a long show.
And it is an adventure.
So, but
can we book report it? Because we still have a 2-hour show to cover.
Yes. But anyway, I was going to tell you, I'm trying to lower my standards as far as physical attractiveness because I realize, and I'm trying to take a page out of Poodle's book of Be the Pretty One.
Be the pretty one. True.
And I don't do that. I usually always aim up and I'm alone. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the pretty one. So that's kind of what I thought. I heard your voice.
Yeah. Remember though, even when you're still in bed with another person, you're alone. We're born alone and we die alone.
We do.
Everyone remember that. If you're worried about being alone, you're alone. If you're sitting next to your husband or your kids in your lap.
If he's inside of you, you're still alone.
You're still alone. That's a great way to start the new year.
I take comfort in that, but I like being alone. I like being alone.
Me too.
And so, anyway, so he looks over and he says something in some language, and I say, "Excuse me," and I am going to book reports cards. So he didn't speak. He didn't really speak. He spoke some German, which I don't really speak.
Oh, so he wasn't even a native German speaker.
Well, there's a lot of people in Vienna that are not. He was originally there was a lot of people there I've learned from Budapest. So
yes,
he was from there, but then he also lived in Italy for a while. So he knew some Italian, and that's actually how we were able to kind of talk a little bit.
He didn't speak any English?
But he spoke hardly any English.
Okay.
His name was... oh God, I forgot. Adolfo. That was his name.
Wow. I am Adolfo.
Yes, that's how he said it. And then he didn't.
That sounds made up.
And maybe it was. But anyway.
All this is sounding kind of squirrely.
There wasn't really a lot of conversation.
Gotcha.
I'll be honest. I had already had 3 beers there. Something I wasn't prepared for is the beers there are like
very, very strong.
They're 8-9%. That's why they're so good, but they're very strong.
Yeah.
So I was already pretty woo. So anyway, things happen. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. And I'm kind of looking else around. The bar's not crowded yet. And I kind of thought, I'm getting drunk. And this is probably going to be about as good as it gets.
You know what? I respect this.
So
quantity over quality.
So I look at him. He looks at me. He does have really pretty, these light brown eyes.
Just focus on those.
Skin. Yes. And so and he has pretty teeth. So I was like, this'll work. His nose looks like he's been a boxer. That's fine.
Oh, a romance for the ages. This'll work.
This'll work. So we're talking. Then I see him start to look at my lips. And then I know
it's all over.
It's all over. So he leans in.
I'm sure you'd put a lot of lip gloss on them too.
No, because I know they're not. And so, but they were moisturized earlier in the day, yes. And so he leans in and we kiss, and boy, kind of like my dad would say, this had a kick to it. And you know what I mean? Like it was a good kiss. He was a good kisser. So we're just making out at the bar at this point.
Classy.
Just classy. Again, I decided.
I love it.
I decided when I go to Europe, I went, I'm going to poodle a little bit.
I'm proud for you. This was my behavior.
This is poodling, and I've decided poodling is now a noun, and I want Sissy to tell us.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. I'm sorry. When were you out poodling? I want to know your poodling stories because we can all be a little bit more poodle in 2024.
It's true
because it's the year of the whore. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, we're sex positive, so. We're making out.
Move it on.
He's rubbing my leg. He starts grabbing my crotch.
Jesus.
I'm like, what? And then we're kissing. And then he kind of pulls back and he kind of licks the underside of his lips. And I went, I'm so sorry. I have adult braces. Because I thought he cut his lip on my braces.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have adult braces.
Because you can't see them.
Could you be more socially unacceptable?
No.
Jesus. If he fucked you after that, it's got to be a pity fuck. Keep going.
So we make out. He's like, no. And we make out some more. We're making out. And finally, I understand that he says he lives 1 block away.
Oh, it was fate.
It was fate. So we leave the bar. I'm fine. And at first I said, no, I can't. But then he started,
come on.
Then he started kissing on my neck and I went, okay, let's go. And so we walk to the bar, or we walk from the bar. We're walking. And then he turns into like this little alley, or not a little alley, like a little alcove. And he just kind of throws me up the wall and we're making out a little bit. I was like, well, this is a fun way. And then he tries to take my pants off, and I'm like, no. And then we're making out.
9.
And then I realize, I'm going no bene.
Oh, in Italian.
Then I realize he wants to fuck right there. He doesn't live a block away. He wants to have sex right there on the street in Vienna.
On the street.
on the street. And I'm like, I can't do this. But he makes out so good. I'm like, I can't do this.
Honestly, if it was in more of an alley, you're fine.
It was very protective. I was fine. He's like putting his hand down the back of my pants, tapping on the money spot. And so so I wish you could see Poodle's face when I said that, everyone.
It's gross.
Anyway, so I'm like, no, but I don't think, I'm 44 years old. I don't think I can have sex in the alley, but the body's telling me different things. And he does, and I do put my hands, he has a huge dick.
Yeah.
It's a huge, and so I'm going, is this going to happen? And then he looks at me straight in the eyes and says, and holds my hands. Yeah, holds my face in his hands, which I love that. And I'm looking in his beautiful brown eyes, and our lips are wet from each other's saliva. And we're just having this moment. And he looks right at me, and he says an English phrase that I understand. He looks at me and says, "I love you."
What? Okay, that would have turned my boner dead.
And I looked right at him, and I said, "What?" And he said it again. He said, "I love you."
This is so fun. Only this would happen to only you. You would have the person. You would find the one person who said "I love you" to you in an alley.
Well, I immediately, instinctually, out of the corner of my eye, I see this car coming down. And it's a taxi, and I pop out. I don't even say a word. I raise my hand. The cab stops, and he goes, wait. His pants are down. He has a boner. He says, "I love you." And I turn around, and I look at him with the cab open, and I go, 9. And I just get in the cab and drive away.
Well done. I'm applauding.
So I did not get banged in Vienna.
I got to say this. This would have been good poodling had you probably. I have a feeling there were probably some signs before this that you may have ignored.
Well, the epilogue to the story is when I went out with my other friends, or the guys that I made that we went out friendly, and we went bar hopping like but it's so funny you asked because I was going to tell you this. I was going to save it for the end of the show as a reveal, but oh well. We're going to all these different bars. We went to some bar. I don't know. Who fucking cares? Fox or something. I don't know. We go to these bars and we're sitting in the bar and I look over and that guy walks in and he's selling roses. Like the roses woman in West Hollywood.
And here we are, full circle. It would have to end this way. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you a new picker. We're gonna have to buy it in an actual place.
This is why I don't want any. This is why I don't want people to touch me. I just want to be alone.
Let me go out with you next time and point you towards someone who's better.
I worry you're going to pit me with somebody's worse just for the story.
I promise I won't do that.
I worry about it.
No, I'll take the best one of the bar and I'll give you the second best one.
All right. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Maybe further down the line just for the story. That was a good story. Normally I find your hookups distasteful and sad.
Yeah.
But I found that one funny.
I had to laugh. I felt good. I chose me.
You did choose you. You had a little bit of make out. My favorite is, I'm sorry I have adult braces.
Because it's the first time I kissed somebody since I had braces.
Oh my God. It's like you're a teenager again.
It is. It is.
You're Jan Brady.
I am.
All right,
I really am.
we have to move on. I'm so sorry. Happy New Year, sissies. This is The Single Life, season 4, episode 1. What was the name of this single? Probably like Single and Ready to Mingle or some shit like that.
I don't think they sent it to us.
They're not really creative. We'll figure it out. It is.
I'm looking it up now. By the way, y'all, if you're not on our Instagram or our what is it called? TikTok. Our producer Christina killed it with our year-end review video.
Yes,
it was so
very good.
It was so funny. It reminded me of so much shit that we did this year. We're clowns. Just clowns.
Sometimes sad clowns.
Clowns.
I know I had forgotten about some of the stuff. I'm also glad that she beeped out some of the stuff that was there because, woo.
Yeah, because y'all don't understand.
We would not be good.
We're recording on the camera for like 10 minutes before we actually start the show, just saying shit. We did not get an episode name from our contacts, so I don't think we know the episode. It's not aired yet, so I don't think we know.
It airs tonight.
Yeah, but we're recording it before, so we don't know the episode name. It's episode 1.
I bet you.
There you go.
Well, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Y'all, if you don't know The Single Life, this is perhaps the cringiest and I don't know. Just it's your favorite iteration.
It is my favorite iteration.
It is definitely the one where I feel like the producers are laughing at the people dating.
100%.
And
it's of all the 90 Day shows, it's the one that could be on our cringe tier.
It could be. I think there is what they've done better at is they've found their older contestants, their cast members, and they are covering people who are dating older, like Colt's mom, Debbie, who's still living it up in Canada. With
this Debbie
and this new Debbie from Georgia.
Now we're still going to meet.
I'm so happy she's back.
We're still meeting Spockles. He hasn't come back yet.
Yeah.
And
isn't there another one? Veronica. We didn't get Veronica in this episode either.
Well, because Veronica, this is really her and Jamal are dating. So I'm hoping, so it's kind of a twofer. I feel like we're going to get Kimberly and Jamal.
I hope so.
Your number one fan, Kimberly, I think it's going to be back. We're going to get
I hope so.
I hope so too. I love her now.
So y'all, the biggest get for them is 90 Day Royalty, Chantel. Now,
it is
one of my favorite things, y'all. Chantel is by no means ready to do this.
Boy,
by no means is it healthy for Chantel to be, also because y'all, Chantel cannot just have a fling. She's already saying things like, I want a Greek man to take home to my mother. I mean, I would like a Greek man.
Do you think she wants to have kids? Do you think that's maybe something that's pushing her because she's 32?
I think she needs to be with someone.
She's also a black woman in the South, and that's like...
That's true, but...
So there's a lot of pressure.
Y'all, Chantel is desperate.
But she is in no way ready. I thought of her, y'all, because Chantel, we both got tipsy at the TLC, and we both talked about, we had very similar experiences in breakups, and we both got played, like we both, or at least feel that way, and all this. All of that said, I'm watching this, and when she said it's been 6 months since we separated, I went
6 months.
I'm like
40 years.
40 years. I'm a year and a half out, and clearly from the story I just told, I'm not ready. So there's no way she can be ready for this. There's no way.
This is ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. But you know what she's doing, which I respect. Chantel is poodling.
She is, but she doesn't have the skills.
She doesn't have an actual poodle to guide her.
And I'm thinking that these friends from what I say, just randomly scream phrases at her.
Well, I'll tell you, the one girl is a friend, Destiny. Kaylee and Mooney are makeup artist and our hairstylist. They didn't say that Mooney is a makeup artist, but y'all look at his face. That's her makeup artist.
Well, he is also her twerk instructor, which is apparently something that's real.
And her gay BFF. I kind of respect this, that if I was going, I like that she kind of has an entourage of some.
I just don't know if they're the right team to do this for her.
Again, I'm going to say this now. They don't listen, but I did enjoy meeting Chantel. She was very nice. So was Winter.
Her boobs were out there like she was serving 2 honeydews on a tray.
Just ready. They would have thumped them and they would have echoed. I actually am really rooting for her because I feel for her and I want her to have happiness, but I just don't know if that's ever going to happen with the parents that she has.
I don't. Let me clarify. It's not that I wish her unwell or wish her bad. I think that what she was raised with and some of the values that she was raised with are still there.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of unhappiness and wanting certain things and going through life like you're a princess and that you deserve a lot is not going to be helpful for her. And
I agree. And when you go through something like that, you need to change.
Yeah.
And you need to have, I know.
She ain't changed.
And I feel like, because actually I won't talk about it on this show because we don't have time, but I finally took that fucking Enneagram thing for you.
Oh!
And I think I would have been one number before kind of my dad and my breakup, but now actually I came out, I was a different number.
Oh.
But I'm going to make you wait for it. We've already taken up too much time in the show.
Anyway. So y'all, Chantel is crying with these ridiculous lashes. In some of the previous things, if you've seen some of the continuity issues, at one point, it was so funny. She's Pedro says something and she's got normal lashes, and the next thing she has lashes that are literally 3 times bigger.
3 times bigger, yeah. Like
it's almost comedic.
A sissy posted, did they actually put in a special effect of lashes on her?
Here's the other thing. What I've kind of realized about Chantel is she's a ridiculous person. And I also kind of thought she was smarter than she was. Nope, she ain't.
I think Chantel goes through life just letting people tell her what to do.
Totally.
But then what happens is she isn't either on board with that fully or just agrees or acquiesces, but then she ends up being resentful of those people.
Yeah. I also think that she would be completely boring if not for her hype crew or her mother calling.
I think she's very insecure, actually, and inhibited.
Yeah.
Again, when she was trying to hit on that guy, y'all, we're gonna drag her, but I'm just gonna say this, Chantel, if you are listening, bitch, I am that way. So I'm going to make fun of them, but I am totally that way when I hit on people, and I'm terrible at it.
So, y'all, they're going to Greece, and she's trying to find a Spartan man because she watched the 300. And here's the thing. Instead of chiseled, you're just going to find men with carpets of hair.
She wants
and mommy issues. Trust me. I've fucked Greek guys.
She wants this chiseled man, and y'all, we've got a dick pig. She wants a big dick.
Yeah, she wants. He's like and hung like a horse. And
this is basically the description of a man who's going to cheat on you.
That's the thing.
That is literally what she just described. Not someone you're going to marry.
I also don't think she can have a fling. I think she's looking for a man for security.
Oh my God, are Chantel and I both demisexual?
She doesn't know what that word means.
She doesn't.
But I think
she does. She wants security.
I think that's so she's looking for a man for security and and to feel secure with herself. So it's never, she's going to always be anxious. And Pedro always kind of had the carrot in front of her, leading her towards security, but she never got it. And she weaponized it.
He did. Yeah. She weaponized it. He future faked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that term not dead? It's 2024.
It's not dead. It's still in because it's still happening. And the reason why I bring it up, because men do it to women all the time. And most of our listeners are women. And that's why I want them to, if one of them says, you know what? I didn't know it until today.
Can a woman do it to a man though?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
I like women better.
Well, yeah, of course. This is what I was confused about. Now, and I don't buy this. I always envisioned, she says, where a life where you traveled the world together and lived a life of adventure, but I didn't have that. And I went, did you? Is that new? Because you went to the DR, but I never saw, especially with that family of yours, who kind of are afraid to go anywhere.
They're xenophobic.
I don't buy it.
We didn't really. Maybe you get it more in the family, Chantel. We actually, when she said that, I went, we actually never really knew.
We never knew who she was.
For both of them, we kind of never knew what they really wanted in life. They were so focused on what he was doing or not doing, and what she was not doing. They were really stuck like in present past. No, we didn't know.
They were stuck like they were teenagers.
They show clips. We don't need to go all into that. We haven't seen it yet, but we see Pedro telling her he wanted a divorce. There's more details of it. We don't want to know about it, y'all, because we're going
to cover it in class
this year.
I will say,
a couple of months.
I never get tired of watching her wearing that banging dress to the airport to pick him up with those horrible flats.
I can't believe she wore flats. I cannot believe she wore flats.
Y'all, here's the thing. You wear the heels to pick him up just so the dress makes you look incredible. Then you switch to flats. You can't wear a dress that looks that good with flats. It's ridiculous.
I agree. I agree.
Anyway,
So,
y'all,
yeah.
she
So
says
he wanted the divorce. That is important. He wanted a divorce, and it's been
Yeah.
6 months since then.
also, y'all, we're going to get completely. Chantel's not in the place where she can, let's see a little both sides. So we're going
Never
to
has been.
only get Chantel's side of the story.
Mhm.
And she says, this is her description of why it didn't work for her and Pedro. I was so blinded by my love for him that I didn't notice the dysfunction.
Yeah.
That's her explanation. Wow. I think there's more than that. But
I actually feel like that's an actual very shameful way of, because the way that she says that, some people take it as like, wow, how clueless. Possibly, yes. But also, I hear a lot of shame in that. Because if you say,
I agree.
I was blinded by love, that means that it's almost like she's taking all the responsibility for not seeing that. And like, but I mean, try to look at it in a way of like you're saying, dual responsibility of, this guy was a manipulator. I'm either codependent or I'm this.
Right.
I have patterns. What are my behavior? Pedro did this. But you're right. She's going to see none of that complexity.
That to me, it's fake blame she's giving herself. Because I was blind because I loved so hard that I just didn't see any dysfunction that was mostly him.
So it's a sanctimonious kind of. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's her, because that's her parents.
That is her parents.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you don't follow her mom's Instagram,
Miss Karen Nasty
when they
or
go
not.
live, it is Karen
Underscore
Nasty
or underscore not.
It's so good.
It is probably the and also the camera work. They never edit before they start something.
Mm-mm. So there's 5 minutes of them just waiting, just her looking,
staring at the camera.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's great.
So she says the big switch happened when he went into real estate and only spent time with his colleagues. We stopped having sex. He filed for divorce. And as she says, I'm finally ready. That long 6-month period of growth.
How long was she with him for? Like 6 years?
I think 4 years. Because they got married in maybe 5. No, because this was filmed in 2022. So I think they got together in like 2017, 2018.
She's really lucky she got out of it that quickly and didn't have kids.
I agree. Yep. So y'all, Destiny, her friend since 2nd grade. We have said this before. Her hype crew. Kaylee, her hairdresser. And Mooney, her twerk instructor and gay best friend. Again, I don't think any of these titles are relevant. These people just wanted a good trip to Greece.
They did. But I do think, it's entertaining. But actually, I do think I'm actually glad that these people are going with her because Chantel is actually a very pessimistic person.
She is. Yeah.
And she needs this kind of hype. Like when they're bringing out the cucumbers and they're looking at all they bring out. And she's like, what? And they're like, you're going to find a cucumber. I'm like, this is great. And they're actually... It's interesting. They're actually talking about her just putting herself out there without attachment and just fucking around with people and just having fun.
Yep.
She's the one that internalizes to I'm finding a Greek husband.
She can't. And I will say, I think that might be a little bit of the way the show direction goes of trying to find your next perfect match or whatever. But y'all... She says this is so weird. It's just some of the stuff that she says is such cognitive dissonance. It kind of sounds like it makes sense, but if you listen to it, it makes no fucking sense at all. She says, I prefer someone from another country versus an American man because people from other countries has a sense of adventure. But y'all, Pedro was from another country. He, quote unquote, did not have a sense of adventure.
He did not have a sense of adventure at all.
And I think she's talking about foreign guys that she sees on movies like, hello, may I suggest a riverboat cruise?
Yes. I think that's where because true, Americans don't prioritize travel as much as people in other countries, I don't think. But she's not talking like that.
No.
She literally watched the fucking the Tuscan Sun.
Yes.
And that's the
she
life
wants
she wants.
her Adolfo.
She wants her Adolfo.
And guess what?
9.
He still sells roses.
9.
I wrote down, there is no new Chantel. This is just horny Chantel. That's all it is.
And I'm here for horny Chantel. Her friends are a lot, but whatever.
I know. I think they have to be because she is always at kind of a 3. Although it feels like they gave her Dexatrim or something because she's a little bit more. I can't wait. And
I don't think they sell Dexatrim anymore.
Diet pills.
But that was
or
current references only.
They gave her some kind of pills.
Jesus.
They gave her some kind of speed or
it's
something.
Adderall now, Poodle. It's called Adderall.
They gave her some Adderall or something.
You've never taken Adderall?
No, I've taken Ritalin and other drugs like that. Yeah.
I haven't. I just assumed because you've done a lot more drugs than me.
Yeah. Drugs are fun. I don't endorse it. But.
So, yeah, moving on.
But
so,
later on, y'all.
Can we talk about this dress? Respect for this dress.
How does this dress even hang together? So,
tape.
Yeah, but was the dress taped to her ass?
Yes. Clearly, you have not worked in pageants. Yes. Taped to her ass and taped to her cooch.
But at one point, didn't the dress, because she's not wearing panties, how does the dress stay so the tape actually holds it to her butt?
Yes, it's double-sided tape.
Got it.
It sticks to your skin and the clothes. Something we probably will get when we go on tour, so you don't have a skirt that rises up and shows your nutsack to the audience, like in DC.
I want to be authentic. And
I want people not to leave in the middle of the show.
So y'all, of course, Karen calls, and the first thing out of her mouth is, "Hi, dear." It also feels like every time Karen talks, that things are being translated in another language and being retranslated.
I agree. But it's happening in Chantel's head.
Yeah,
or it's happening in her head because it's taking so long.
And she said, "Well, I'm glad you're having a good time." She's like, "Yeah, everyone's. What's your shirt say? It says divorced and looking for the D." Oh. And well, she said, "You better not bring anyone back here that needs another K1 visa." Xenophobia. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, her friends basically tell her, "You got to get at least 5 numbers tonight."
This is great. My friends used to do this to me because I was so shy about going. My friend would say, "I want you to get 5 points tonight. And you get a point for every time you ask someone out, whether they turn you down or not." And I would be terrified of it. But I would have to do it. It was
I think it's fine. I think these days when they're saying numbers, I feel like these days you would say, "What's your Instagram?" Or "What are you?"
Oh God, is that what you're supposed to say?
Yeah, you don't get people's numbers. Yeah.
I thought you get it on like a written piece of paper and you write their address down.
It feels too personal now for someone to give their number. Or you have, or you can do LinkedIn if you want.
What? I don't even use LinkedIn.
You could have asked Adolfo for his LinkedIn.
What? I would have found out he sold roses.
Rosas. So anyway, they meet a hot guy who's named Adonis, which is a hat on a hat. I'm just gonna say that now.
He is pretty hot though.
And at one point, we get a kind of Wikipedia version of what Adonis was from Greek mythology.
Yes.
It's not really accurate.
Not really accurate at all.
But that's Chantel.
That's
y'all.
Chantel.
So she's talking to this guy. I was shocked that and even though she was at least 4 drinks in, because her eyes are kind of going around in her sockets.
I have to have liquid courage to do this. My heart will go out of my chest if I did this sober.
But she's to the point where she's a little too tipsy to ask guys for the number, and her friends are kind of propping her up.
Kind of. They're a lot actually. Like, so I appreciate them, but at the same time, they're so like. I think the point is, but I don't think she can. Again, I'm kind of not comfortable with how much I related to Chantel in this scene because I'm like, let Chantel go off and do this on her own, whether she gets the number or not. It's not about winning or failing. Just let her do it on her own. But they almost were like they were like emotional training wheels for her.
Yeah.
And I didn't love that. But also as watching this, I'm like, I don't think I would need it now, but I probably would have needed that before in my life.
Yeah, you did. You did. You needed to be pushed into a dark room.
I did. Like people had to so I relate because there's something too, like Chantel I was surprised when she said 32 because I went, I think of you as like 25.
She still seems like 25, 26 to me. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But she says to Adonis, what do you do for work? Oh, you're a sailor. Wow. I don't go on boats a lot because I'm scared of sharks. Y'all, then Karen's voice literally just goes out of her. And it's just weird shit.
But even before that, though, she's just kind of like, so... hi, and she kind of does that smile where she smiled, but it looks like she's
saying fuck off.
Yeah, it's like you ate a bad breakfast burrito and it's squirming around in your stomach. She's making that face because she barely. So she asked him a sailor, and that's when she lit up. And then after that, she was like, "So, can I get your number?"
And so he does give her his number. I still feel like, and maybe not. I feel like for numbers, that's like a real sense of privacy. I guess it's different for men to give women, but for a woman would never give a stranger.
Maybe it was
number.
WhatsApp though. I'd give somebody my
WhatsApp. Yeah, I think that's a little different. But people are much more comfortable saying follow me on Instagram or here's my Instagram handle because that's less private.
Because it's interesting that you say that because I would almost rather them have my number because if they have my Instagram handle, then they know all about my life because we have very public lives.
But your number,
you just block them. It's not like they can find where you live.
I guess that's true. I find Instagram easier because you can send DMs without. But
you don't send anything. You don't have anything on Instagram. Like
I have very little. But I communicate via Instagram.
But think about Chantel. He's going to see that she's a reality star. He's going to see all this shit about her.
I found this concept of getting 5 numbers very dated. That
I didn't. I thought it was apropos for what she needs.
I want to hear from other women who go out. Do you guys still? Do your friends basically hassle you to get 5 numbers? Or how does that work?
Challenge you? Yeah. So
y'all, then we meet a guy named Emilios, who is 20 years old. 20!
Y'all, and this is where Chantel starts poodling.
She goes for a ride, and then she gets it kind of okay. They and Mooney, her the 3 girls and 1 girl, as I said. Yeah, she's like, did you feel the boob on your back? Boob on your back. Boob on your back. Oh, boop, 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 boop.
They're like, I'm like, just let her be, y'all. They're like and they're like making all these like sexual jokes. I'm like, oh my God.
Mooney's gonna have a music video in 6 months. I promise you.
2.
If he doesn't already have some.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a recording artist. Definitely.
But have you ever ridden on the back of a motorcycle with a guy?
Yes, of course. Remember the guy who when we were living, you got really mad at me because you didn't want to let me out with him. He had a motorcycle.
Oh, I was very worried when you did that.
He gave me my own helmet.
I got to say, though, I'm of a different leaf. I watched this and I thought, you know what? That's going to be a goal for me in 2024. I want to ride on the back of someone's motorcycle.
Go for it.
Why not? You should once.
It's like Rebecca when she met that woman for the first time to Black Velvet.
Mississippi.
But this idea of she gave him a little hug and then she's like, give him a hug, and so she grabbed y'all. By this point, she is drunk.
Again, this felt like this is where at the beginning I felt like Chantel was like Maddie, and
This
then
is
she
me.
morphed into Poodle. Because I've seen you do that, where a guy just goes bye and not expecting anything else, and you just look at him and grab his
I
face
just
and
put
make
my
out with
face
him.
and make out with him. That's my move. However, the next thing that happens is textbook Chantel. When she
Thankfully, that is neither of
it's
us.
happening again. This is what Pedro did me. He took me on four-wheelers and I'm freaking out. And then the tears come.
This
and I was like,
totally different and not like that at all. I thought she was just being over dramatic. We saw the four-wheeler. This had nothing to do with that.
well, this just tells you how anxious she is. And
She's not ready.
And she's not ready.
It tells, again, I think she's using that excuse because she was feeling good or feeling these feelings and then started to feel shame about it and then guilt. And so she needed to have this breakdown to regulate herself.
And I went, this is going to be a great season for you. I wonder if they're going to do any of it, if it's all going to take place in Greece. Are we going to get every night she's in Greece with a different guy? Or are they going to continue it in Atlanta?
I think we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see the family.
I hope so.
In this.
Do you want to move on to Natalie?
Yeah.
So things are a little clearer with Natalie because the apple didn't fall far from the tree with her
What do
mom.
I say? Meet someone's mother and father and you understand them better.
Holy fuck.
See, you're being more empathetic. I actually thought, you guys, we have a new star of the 90-Day franchise. Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I like it how what I love about this is you can hear the noise, literally the noise in Natalie's head, y'all, is her mother.
Mm-hmm.
It makes perfect sense now. We always saw like a sympathetic version because she liked Mike, obviously. And now we see how maybe that constant negativity and that voice and that fearfulness of her mother's voice in her head constantly may have contributed to the crazed curly thing we see before our very eyes.
This isn't coming from an autobiographical place, is it?
Not at all.
Okay, just making sure.
Not at all.
Just making sure. Yeah, we've never heard about your Christmas vacation with your family.
I guess I could tell some things. Oh,
You could do it on the 90-Day show too, since I took so long. Sorry, but whenever I'm here.
I'm here.
No, I'm excited to listen. Either way,
I'll tell it on the 90-Day show. There was a great moment.
okay. I love a tease.
It was a really wonderful moment. It was so dramatic, too.
Boy.
I do need to say, if you are looking to be treated in a different way around the holidays or something like this, I was amazed how when I was just walking around with my niece and nephews, when I was like taking them places, I just got treated very differently. People asked me about them and they said, that's they said, oh, are these yours? And first of all, I would have been like, my response was, God, no. I don't think I look like a parent, but maybe in South Carolina, it's just assumed.
Oh, honey, you look old enough to be a parent. You need to accept that.
I'm not saying I look old enough. I don't think I look like I don't have the look of a parent.
Yeah, I think you need to process that.
No, I'm not saying
You look like a parent.
No, I don't. I don't have that tired. Actually, I do look tired consistently because I don't sleep. So maybe I do look like their parent. But I just think I got treated.
You don't have that face like you just saw that. Like I saw a lot of families.
World weariness.
And you know what? It's an international thing because even in Vienna, there was a lot of families there taking their kids, trying to do Christmas shit with their family. And you could just see they're fucking German, whatever, Scandinavian, and they all, those mom and dad,
same look.
They all have that look that they're just tired.
But also the look of things are never, ever going to be how they were.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to get to a part to satisfy your kid and get them grown up enough, and then you can resent them living their own life. Wow, that just got real. So, but anyway, I thought, what a great, because everyone was like just nicer to me than when I was by myself. And I said, what if you could just like, I could say, oh,
I don't like where this is going.
If I could, you could rent children at the time of year at Christmas, and you could call it, oh, these are just my Christmas children. And they're just around. And, oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm Kingsley and Paisley. Well, you're going to be John and Mary for today, because I don't like those names. Little John, and you know what? You'll be, the boy will be John, and the boy will be Mary, and the girl will be John, because we don't like gender conforming. And people
like
just,
this idea.
You can just rent them for Christmas, and you can remember what it's like to have a family, and then you can give them back the next day.
Reality Gaze does not support child trafficking or child renting.
I shouldn't say it. There's nothing. I'm not talking about trafficking. I'm talking about these are children who come from a family who their family needs to give them away for a day.
No, the way you do it is, and you and I couldn't do it because we didn't live near your nephews, but I do know gay friends that live close to their nephews, and they do take this was a famous episode of Friends, they do take their kids out, their nephews out, or their nieces, and you do get dick that way.
Really?
Yes, if you
Not the kind that I'm looking for.
If you took your really more actually for me, yeah. If I took my nephews when they were younger, like to Runyon Canyon, oh, the dick.
I disagree. I think if we were fucking women, yes.
I don't know.
Not men.
I made out with a guy who sells roses. What do I know?
That's true.
What do I know?
I love you.
9.
So y'all, Natalie is back again. I think she needs a contract every single season.
Yep. It's
her. How is she affording this house? She lives in Florida. Come on. I'm going to say this. I'm not against sex work, but it just seems like she could be doing it.
I don't know. Because
how's she affording this place?
Exactly. I don't know how she's affording it. Now, I know that because like when she says later on when she freaks out and she says, well, you'll have to pay for the apartment. Josh is paying for it. He said, okay, fine, I would. When he said, I'll pay for the Airbnb. And I'm going, is Josh paying for you to live where you live now?
I don't know. Everything is
the pussy
weird.
That good? That's what I kept asking myself.
No. It's the kind of pussy that you're scared if you're going to live through it. It's more than like choke pussy. Yeah, yes. It's like, am I going to die tonight?
But every time they finish, Josh is like, I made it one more day. And he just wants to see if he can make it again.
Yeah, it's almost like she's always going to grab that basic instinct ice pick every time she's thinking about grabbing it.
And he goes, is this the time? That's what I think.
The night I die.
Is this the night I die? Because... yeah, but I agree with you. I don't know where the money has come from. We don't know what now look, she could have also been getting some money from Mike because we do know that Mike was financing some things too. I don't know why he was because Mike did finally, this was just news last week. Mike finally did file for divorce. Yeah. So he just filed for divorce but I think Mike was probably giving her some money too.
Yeah, but this was expensive.
But Tampa is cheaper to live. It's not cheap, but it's affordable.
She was in St. Petersburg,
which is right in that little alcove.
I guess
it's right all in there.
I don't know. I don't know Florida geography.
She's going to have a rude awakening when she lives in an apartment in Van Nuys in LA. Because y'all, she's not going to afford to live in LA.
Nope. Yeah, y'all, she's going to be in Van Nuys. And not the nice part. There is like one road.
Now her mother might like West Hollywood because there's a large Russian and Ukrainian
speakers,
population there.
She can't pay West Hollywood rent. Are you kidding me?
But that's the most expensive place wanted to live in Los Angeles.
They get you in West Hollywood for wearing red shoes on a Thursday. So she is picking up her. This was actually thought really, really sweet. 'Cause her mom's here. I'm sure it's been awful for her being in Ukraine, and y'all, we are moving to LA because I'm going to pursue my relationship with Josh.
And she's going to start. She wants to pursue acting more.
I'm going to be in the movies.
Doing, you know what? I think what do you think her aspirational role is? For me, I think that Natalie, she wants to be a Bond girl.
Oh, no. It's something much. No, she wants to be Julia Roberts. She wants to do romantic comedies. Of course she does.
No.
Think about it.
Oh, God, you're right. She saw Pretty Woman. She's like, I want to be Pretty Woman.
No, it is the most basic of all choices.
Josh, tell me why I can't be Sally. I want to be Sally, Josh. You can be Harry.
Josh, why did you never let me go to the movies, Josh? One of my favorite quotes. It's just so Natalie. When Josh asks, "So how's your mom?" And she goes, "Good thing. She's healthy. She's alive."
Yeah, she's alive. And then you just go, yeah, we got
good.
that.
We covered that.
Thought she was alive when you picked her up at the airport. Anyway, Mom is
like
there.
her.
Yeah.
I love her pink glasses. She's living that life.
Mom looks like she had like filler work done before she came here.
Do you think? I think she always kind of looked like that.
She just looks. She looks eternally surprised.
She does.
Anyway, that's all I'm saying. We normally don't talk about people's appearances, but we find out later. She's horrible to her daughter.
Mom already says, Mom's like, I don't like this Josh guy because Mike was much better for you.
Because she wants Natalie to be with a Mike, not a guy who looks like Josh.
This is insane because Mom is never going to shut up about Mike and how good he was to her mom.
Well, and didn't Natalie's dad cheat on Mom and leave her and all that? So she doesn't want her to be with a Josh because he's a good-looking guy.
Yes.
She wants him to be with a large oaf that she thinks will never cheat on him.
Who believes in aliens.
And butter. That's what she wants.
Yo,
God, I love this show.
Mom is saying things like, I can't wait to play with my grandkids. And I wrote, yike.
No, not even before that. I was dreaming of grandkids. And I would be more relaxed if Michael invited us. I imagined I was going to play with him. I love poems. I read poems to them. Poems to them at night. But now I'm waiting.
And you just see Natalie's face, all of the kind of like joy and everything, the zest for life just drains away as soon as her mother starts talking.
It does make sense why she hugged a tree now.
It all became clear because we hadn't seen that much of her interacting with her mother. But I went, oh, this is the full Natalie mom experience.
Yes, 90% of the time, y'all meeting their parents will help. There's rare instances like Andre and Libby, like you meet his parents and you're like,
what the fuck happened?
But yeah, this is woo. So Natalie does. I loved another great quote. When she looks, she's like, it was right after the mom just shamed her, and Natalie's like, but we have to move. We have to. This could be my moment. My moment. And I went, oh, God.
Your moment, Natalie, your moment will be in a USC student film where you will be a park ranger and you will have 6 lines and you will flub one of them. No, you'll flub 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be invited to the wrap party and the screening party, which will be in a bowling alley. And you'll see yourself up there on the screen. It's not that big, but it's there. And you're like, see, I've made it.
And then you'll get drunk and make out with the grip.
Yeah. What drinking for you would be 3 glasses of wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story, y'all. That's where she's going for. So they're moving in. They fly to LA, and he's not there. And immediately the mom starts in. Well, a man should be here to protect us and help us. What are we going to do in this city? It's very scary. And she's like, shut up, mom.
She's like, shut up, mom. And I love it.
I didn't know how Natalie could be relatable for me. She was this episode.
This is what's fucked out about this. I related so much to Chantel, and you're relating to fucking
I'm relating
Natalie.
to fucking Natalie. And at one point, y'all, so they're moving into one of these extended stay motels.
Yes, I just want to say one thing. When she said, she like rolls her eyes at her mother, and her mother said a quote. Where was it? It was really good. Where she's like, "I think my opinion is good." So just that phrase.
And Natalie's like, it's all we can afford. And she goes, when Josh comes, Josh is going to come and he's going to help us find apartment, help me find job. And
it's like he's Jesus Christ.
It's like waiting for Josh, like waiting for Godot.
Exactly.
No, and like, I don't know how long it is that we wait for Josh, but at one point we're at the beach and the mom goes, hello, C.
She does say, hello, C. That's later.
So good.
When they get to the airport, though, and they get there, Josh says, I can't pick you up. And that's the biggest red flag.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes, that is the biggest.
Was before the beach. Mom gets upset about that because she's like, what? He can't come here to pick you up? How romantic.
So, yo, that's kind of it for Josh in her book.
Yep. She's done with him.
And later on, she says Josh does show up finally.
He's 42. Y'all, he's fucking
I think
hot.
He's hot.
Oh, he's got a
Some people don't really
dick.
like him. I think he's cute.
I do. He's got a nice dick and his arms. Ooh.
I do think Josh misrepresents his wealth and his career. I feel like he's much more of a hustler.
Do I think he's leading her on? 100%.
100%. I think he also likes being on the show.
Yeah, I need to say this. I like him, but do I think he's a normal hot guy who has money and Peter Pan syndrome that never wants to grow up and just fuck
100%.
ladies? Yes.
And y'all remember, every time they have sex, it might be the night he dies.
Because he says she's beautiful and the sex, he said, quote, keeps me on my toes. So, Poodle, you called it.
I'm telling you, it's the kind of sex where you go, I may not make it. And it will be worth it.
He says, I'm excited. And maybe he's not a douche. He was married and has a kid before and has done all that. So maybe also he's kind of in that life like, fuck it, I did that life. I don't want to do it anymore. It goes back to what we say. I think Josh and Natalie have different values, and that's why they're never going to work.
Fuck no. But
she's valuing kids. He doesn't want to have. He's 42. He doesn't want to have kids again.
No. He's playing around with her for as long as possible,
and he's dating other people. I bet 100%.
And he also says, "I want to take things slow." He tells her that, and all the look she gives him. It is like a wild animal. And at one point, she just goes, and that's the thing about Natalie. You're watching her process in real time. And the stakes for her are so high. And that's why it is so watchable. And you don't know what she's going to do from one moment to the next.
Again, you called it because you kind of are Natalie.
I have a part of me that's Natalie.
Have there been guys that dated you when you were younger, and would they say things to you like, "I don't know what's going to come out of your mouth or what you're going to do"?
Yes,
next?
Yeah, and that's what they liked about me
because that's the way you were, y'all. That Poodle was not
in my 20s and 30s, early 30s.
You grow out.
I would say shit that was just,
but he would say shit and he would act shit, and y'all. He's not far off from this. I'm proud of you for doing the work.
Yeah. So they're going roller skating. And she's terrified.
She's like, oh my gosh, she's screaming. She's freaking out. They go, this place looks, I looked it up. It's in Long Beach. They're in Long Beach.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a cool roller rink. And
so they're probably not in LA. They're probably like she's probably staying in like South Bay or something like that.
But even then, Long Beach used to be cheap like 10 years ago, but it's not now.
Yeah. So she's like, I learned 2 things today: to roller skate and that you catch me when I fall.
And Josh is like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fucking make out on this like roller skate couch, which I kind of thought was hot.
And then after that, it seems like she just stares at him for a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, will you help me find work and to find an apartment?
And find a place to live. Find place to live. Yes. And he says, well, I have a friend, Adam. He needs some administrative work. And she goes, he's like, is that okay? And she goes, yes.
She doesn't know how to do anything.
Oh.
This is going to be a complete train wreck. It's going
to be, I predict this. I think Natalie's job interview will be worse than Nichols.
Oh!
I predict that.
That's something. She'll also look like a sex worker when she goes into the job.
100%.
So she's later on. Remember, y'all, what she kept saying. I need to feel like a priority for him. She needs to feel like a priority. Translation for her. I need to be his world.
She needs to be the priority.
Yeah. And so later on, they do this weird thing of like, they're at a restaurant, and they're looking at his schedule, and he's like, tomorrow we'll do apartments and sexy time. She's like, question mark, maybe. Because that's how she gets him to do things. It is,
yeah.
If you think about it, it's really gross. Although I've used sex to get things many times.
I was just about to call you on that. So it's the oldest transaction in the book.
The oldest. I'm getting tired. The oldest profession. So y'all, he's like, and then I go to Ohio for 2 weeks, and I went, uh-oh. But is there an ice pick nearby?
And so, Natalie kind of goes, what?
She gets that crazy look.
What? With her black, kohl-rimmed, too dark eyeliner
she
eyes.
Goes, when am I going to have home?
Home for crib. And
if I walked in that apartment and there was a crib there, I would die.
I did not a crib. That crib. That white crib that just... and so... And he even says, I mean, you called it when he says, you never know what you're going to get with Natalie. I don't know. But today we felt really connected. But as soon after they schedule this time and he tells her he's going to be in Ohio, she's like, I can't count on you with bullshit. When am I going to have a home, Josh? When?
That's when she starts basically. And then something we don't see very often on Nanny Day. He's doing she leaves and she's like, I feel like I'm going to go home alone. And so she goes up to her extended stay Ramada or whatever it is.
Which, by the way, the mom completely shaded.
Yes.
The mom hated. She was like,
not very nice.
Not very nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a woman who's been in the same Ukrainian apartment.
Oh, God, y'all. This is
for 50 years.
This mother on this season is going to be fantastic.
So, anyway, she completely comes. Is he still here? And she interrupts his in the moment. He's like, why is he here? He promised to find me a home. I will be out on the streets. You canceled your trips to Ohio.
And then she just goes into the deep side and just says, I fear I'm not good enough for you. And I go, whoa. And Josh said, that's a small thing for her that I think she needs to work on. I said, small? That's fucking huge.
Yeah, it's all of it. And y'all, of course, she gets down to the ground like she always does. She starts crying. He leaves because he's just not handling it. And I wrote down, Natalie always delivers. Always. Y'all.
Always delivers.
Natalie is your clutch hitter. You put her at a loaded count, she will always knock it out of the park. I can't believe I'm using baseball metaphors.
Well, speaking of knocking it out, let's talk about some workouts, some boxing workouts, some of y'all.
We're
Tyray.
in Modesto, that gorgeous city where beautiful things happen, like Lacey Peterson
That would have been a lot better if
and
you done that
Chandra
with
Levy.
if you did that with your ukulele, because it would have made people happy.
That's true.
Would have made people
I
happy.
need to get my ukulele.
Oh, y'all,
Fucking Modesto.
we're talking about Tyray. I have never been to Modesto, and I do not want to.
Yeah, I can never think about anything besides Chandra Levy and Lacey
Have you been
Peterson.
there?
No, I haven't been. It looks bleak. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
sure it's fine. Don't come for me.
Again, this season is really about, except for Debbie, and I don't think we're going to get this with Sparkles, but, and maybe not Veronica, but this, so I guess not all of this, but half this cast, it's like half the cast are people that feel somewhat confident and want to date and find people to be confident with. And then so far, though, we've just are getting people that are just completely avoiding their childhood trauma,
their own problems,
and covering it up with dating.
Yes. I wrote down, and I'm glad you brought that up. I said, Tyray does not need to date to make himself feel better. Dating is the last thing that's going to do wonders for your self-esteem.
Well, and he says he feels like it's even because he's because he's overweight, and he feels like that. And I do think that affects his confidence and stuff a lot.
Oh, he says that.
But I also say this because it happens. It's why people have to get psych evals whenever they have the stomach surgery and things like that. And every person, I've never been like really obese, but I know had a lot of friends and stuff, and that have had even that stomach surgery or whatever you think. But they always talk about, yeah, I thought I would lose the weight and all my emotional problems would be solved. And then they realize, oh fuck, that's still there. It doesn't go away until I emotionally work on it.
You're still depressed in a skinnier body.
That's why I love dating, or I'm not really dated, but I love y'all. Find yourself a hot guy who was a fat kid.
Mm-hmm. And you can weaponize it. I mean,
I was going to say you would find them relatable and they would have empathy.
You can weaponize it and make them always feel inadequate. I mean, don't do that.
We need to move on. Now we find Tyray. His family calls him Teddy Bear. He reminds us his dad was killed when he was 4.
Yeah, in the park where he likes to play ukulele. The other thing I feel like this family, his brothers and sisters, share some. They also, because he has to carry, his mom is disabled and is in recovery for a stroke or something like that. He is basically doing all the lion's share of work, and the siblings are kind of fine with it. Because I remember up on their season, I remember I had a problem with that.
And I remember we didn't have a lot of information. We've gotten a little bit more. I don't know if that's because I agree with you. I don't know if it's because the kids are hands off, but I could also see, now that we know him a little bit more, I could also see Tyray being like using that as an excuse not to live his life.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I don't know. We don't have the full detail, and maybe it's both.
So, he said he did not date in high school or college, and he is 33, and he says still technically a virgin.
Went to prom with his cousin.
No real dates, and technically no kiss either.
No kiss. And I went, and this is what I want to say. Like, my brother's a big guy, always has been. And my brother has my nephew, Cody, my youngest nephew. Good looking guy. He's a bigger guy. He and my brother too. When my brother was in high school, he
Confidence.
had so much fucking pull. He
Confidence.
dated all these gorgeous women. Cody, my nephew, women just like throw themselves at him.
It doesn't matter. It's confidence.
It's confidence. And I remember one of my brother's friends in high school said, so he was like kind of an asshole and had short man syndrome, but he was good looking. And he said, Brian, why do you get all these hot girls that like you? And my brother looked at me and said, because I'm not an asshole and I make them laugh.
Yep.
And so I know, especially we meet Tiffany later, but there's a lot of women that would totally be into Tyray exactly as he is.
And it's like, yes, he probably needs to get healthier. He's probably his weight. He's probably not the healthiest he could be, but that's not going to feeling good about yourself is important, but working on your own mental health and your confidence and how you walk through the world is the most important thing.
It really is.
It's like self-love, which is a term I honestly don't love. I understand why it's important. My therapist and I have come up with different versions of saying that because I think it feels so touchy-feely.
No, hey, I used to do that. Use the client's language. I love that.
Yeah. But really finding a way to embrace yourself and loving who you are is the most important thing. And it's
period.
But y'all, guess what? We're gonna get a whole season of Tyray being awkward around women. And as he says, he wants.
He's lucky he's not gay. He'd never find anybody who loved, because gay. That if I dated women, y'all, I would. Girls threw themselves at me because women see people as a person and recognize niceness. Gay men don't see that. Men don't see that. They're terrible.
Well, he'd have some chubby chasers after him, definitely.
Which you don't want to be. You don't want to be. I forget what's that word. You don't want to be. What's it? Where
a fetish?
Yeah, you don't want to be a fetish for someone if you don't want to be that. But like, I have one friend who like. She wanted to date guys and that she found the love of her life, and he's into bigger women. And so they've been married for 20 years. So
as long as everyone feels respected.
We're bringing all this up because I don't think Tyray's arc is going to change much in this season.
I agree, but I want to put this. I'm going to say this last thing. You can tell his ship steering wheel isn't necessarily going in the right place because he says, "I want that kiss that turns frogs into princesses or unfreezes your sister." Number one, why don't we have realistic expectations? Number two, neither of those exist.
Well, I don't know. Adolfo, his kiss had a kick on it. It was a pretty good kiss.
He also says, "I wouldn't have sex unless I was in love." Again, honey, you gotta get rid of that bar. You gotta get over that.
Whoa.
And then he says, "This is why it feels like all speculative for him." And it feels. I'll be honest. This section feels the most exploitive to me. Like the producers are having fun with asking him things like, "My first time." Oh, there'd be lots. He's like, "What's her first time like?" He's like, "Lots of moaning, kind of going from the bedroom to the shower to the kitchen, like 4 fucking hours." First of all, 4 hours is a really long time to have sex.
And your first time, he's not going to last 4 minutes.
You're not going to last 14 seconds.
Yeah.
And they do talk about
what kind of gym, by the way. I mean, I love this, but I have never been to a workout class where afterwards they remember how Bernardo treated us after a workout class.
This was his. I think he called it a weight loss accountability group.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were just at a gym and this was after because okay, great. That makes me feel better because I went, this is actually what he needs.
As he said, a fitness-based support group. He
actually needs that. This is good because I don't think because of where he is, his culture, his race, I don't think he would ever go to therapy.
I agree with you. Also, if you don't know Tyray, if you didn't watch it, he was the infamous he was catfished by a man, baby.
Oh yeah, I thought everybody knew that. Yeah.
And remember, I always forget, like the more just lurid parts, that he went to Barbados. And the guy, since it was a guy, he went all the way to Barbados and never showed. And the other thing I want us to remember about Tyray is how when he did meet that woman who was Carmela, who was supposed to be, he just ogled her and was creepy.
Even though they didn't say it before, but they said this time she's a sex worker.
Yes.
They didn't say that before in the last season.
Really?
But they said they said a woman who is a sex worker, which again, that's fine. But I mean, he's also thinking like Pretty Woman or something, that like this woman.
See, to me, it's less classy than that.
His escapism is really detrimental to his emotional growth.
And I just kind of think he's a creep. There's something.
I don't think he's a creep. I think he's.
But the way he like kind of stared at her and said, "So you want to be friends after?" Like, remember that?
There's a line. I don't think he's creepy. I just think he's. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that.
There's something about him that
it's cringy. I think cringy is different than creepy. Creepy is where I feel unsafe.
No, I think
with
creepy. I think, but I don't think I'm saying it's creepy in a way that is not, it wouldn't be a relationship for two people. It would be him jerking off to watching a woman. And I don't know if he sees women as people. That's where I'm going with it.
But I don't think. Yeah, but I think he sees women. I don't know how he sees, but I would imagine it's less of in a gross. But because you brought this up earlier, it's this unrealistic pedestal expectation.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. And I think all this is combined. We can have empathy for it, but it's still there. And he still has to. He's going to inflict on all this on all the women he goes out with.
Speaking of, let's just move on and. We go to his gym group, but then in a few days we find out he's going to his cousin's birthday party. And so this is where, hold on, I have my notes. Okay. Are we at the birthday party or did something else happen?
Not yet. His friend Javon.
Oh, yeah.
So
sorry, okay.
They are going from way back. And he's like, people say we should date, but we're really friends. And so he says, he's like, what is it about? He asks his friend, what is it about me that makes women put me in the friend zone? And she's like, well, you come off a little nerdy. No, it's not that. She's being kind. He comes off creepy. Like, and women notice that. And
maybe it feels creepy to them. Maybe because we know him now. Like to me, he comes off, and we see it as because like when he met Tiffany, I guess it does. I can see what you're saying. How it feels creepy. My word is awkward. He just feels so awkward. It makes me uncomfortable. But both of those things I understand. Like the way he comes off, it's going to creep you out, or it's going to make you feel it's like you aren't. Like things are going to get weird with this guy.
That's it. Here's the thing for me. This guy's relationship with women and sexuality is through pulling his pud on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So women, that is how and part of that is he's trying to square those two things when he's talking to a woman, kind of like how we did with Carmela. So yeah. I think because he's seen so much internet pornography, because y'all, he has a PhD in porn.
Wow.
This guy is, I think after a while, it short circuits part of your brain. And that's why
it does
yeah.
Not short circuit, it reprograms your brain
and
to think that.
That's why it was creepy from him when he met her.
I think that it's going to be it's going to be hard for him because and we see. Let's just get to it. I mean, we talked about it in the first show.
They basically said, "How do I show I'm interested?" And he's like, "Well, I like your shoes. I think they came from heaven with you." And that's the thing.
He's having dinner with his friend. What's her name?
Javon.
Oh, that's Javon. I'm sorry.
So
she said that.
And I said, "This is painful." And it is. I said, "This is just about being confidence and having confidence and being yourself." And he met this woman, Tiffany, at his cousin's grandma's funeral.
Okay. All right.
Now, I'm all for that and great.
You know what? I'd rather do that than meet some guy on Grindr. At least it's in person.
Well, it's Grindr for one night, so you forget about him later. You block him later if you want.
Wow.
Anyway, later on, they're at a party. And I was confused about the decor of this restaurant.
I am shocked that I did not notice it at all with what was happening actually with the characters.
There was just dollars everywhere. It was just pasted everywhere.
You know what it looked like? They just had a bar like this in Bermuda on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They all went to a bar and there were dollars everywhere.
Okay, maybe this is a thing.
And I didn't think anything of it because I'd already watched that episode of Salt
Maybe
Wives.
that's a thing. I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait for that finale.
So y'all, we already played this whole scene out. He kind of goes over to her and steals a fry. And like I said,
he does this weird laugh though. You didn't do that when he kind of just goes, and you see him literally.
God, it makes my skin crawl.
It broke my heart for him a little bit and made my skin crawl because you see him kind of laughing and then you see him just kind of side shuffling and moving away from her because he actually can't even be near her. He feels so just uncomfortable.
You know what I think? When I saw him meeting Carmela for the first time, I think he only thought about her sexually. And that's why I'm saying I think he needs
emotional intimacy is very hard for this guy.
He needs to understand that he needs to meet this woman as a person before. And I think maybe if he finds a way to meet this woman as a person instead of someone to date or have sex with, he might be able to find some actual intimacy and understanding among two people.
So what you just said in 30 seconds is going to take him about 8 years of work.
I agree.
Just
that's what I'm saying. I know.
That's from a professional perspective. It's going to be at minimum 5, but that would have to be twice a week sessions and group work.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm worried that there's going to be because
she's so into him. It's obvious that she's into him.
She like him chunky, he said.
Women can see people. They see a nice guy. They're not gay men. Like she says, he's nice. He's funny. I think that she sees like a life with, you can tell. Yeah. I think she kind of had crazy eyes. Like, I want to lock this guy down.
She's kind of nutty. And I'm kind of here for her. I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy. I don't think he has bad intentions.
Not at all.
I think if you got under the kind of weirdo skin of Tyray and you took sex off the table completely. Because I think he's a little bit there, and the producers aren't helping.
I think the best thing for him would be in a relationship, and he was in a relationship, but they didn't actually have physical intimacy, or they didn't even kiss till like maybe a couple of months. Like just spending time.
Months, but
this isn't the poodle way. This is like, but if I was his therapist, I would say, great, you need to get I need you to take your time. Maybe you can start with kissing, but like, let's wait time for you to get to know her emotionally.
I think because y'all, as I said, he has a PhD in PORN.
And I feel like though a woman having sex with him, it would be like we don't do this now because now we recognize it's gross. But remember like in movies in the 80s where like a guy would be 14 years old and like his older brother would take him to go lose his virginity with a sex worker.
What the fuck?
Remember we used to look at those movies. It's like sweet nostalgic movies. The
Yikes.
fuck?
Anyway, they're going to go out. And
it was creepy when he said, if I kiss, what if I keep my eyes open?
Yeah, there's just sex for this guy is going to have to be deprogrammed into sex with another person. It's
we need to cheer ourselves up. We need to move on to Debbie. Y'all, sorry this is a long show. Our single life shows are always long. Tyray, we wish you the best.
And not the way Sean Robinson means it. We really mean it.
No, we genuinely mean it.
And Tyray, you also might want to sign up for BetterHelp.
You think?
Speaking of, this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
It sure is. And you were dead on with what you said earlier, that he's in this severe denial about the trauma that's happened in his life, and he's masking it with the fantasy of one woman.
Just like I did with Tori Amos in high school.
Sure, but therapy would help him so much. It could be a great place for him not to deflect his own feelings, because I think deep down he feels worthless, but he doesn't tell anyone, and he needs someone besides a family member to remind him of the good qualities he has to build his confidence, and a therapist would do that.
Yeah, I think it's true. And he's just seeing the negative. And I understand it because that's what we do as a society. It's just like everyone with their fucking New Year's resolutions at this time of year.
I don't love them either, but I think New Year's resolutions are usually positive.
No. I hate New Year's resolutions because they basically foster this obsession with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. They're all future focused, nothing's in the now, and often have no footing in the reality of what we're doing right now.
Wow. Somebody got fucking real. But yes, and sometimes they are a little extreme.
Remember that year you said you wanted to get a six-pack?
I'm getting there.
That was 7 years ago.
Lay off me, I'm starving.
Sissies, what are some things about yourself or your life that you'd like to keep the same in 2024? What things are you already slaying? Think opposite of New Year, New You.
I do want to leave behind Adolfo.
Yeah. When it comes to dating, you need a reboot.
I know.
Ground up.
I got it.
Like RoboCop. They need to remove everything about you that doesn't work. It's 90%, and you'd use the laser eyes to spot out the losers.
You stop.
Drop it.
But see, this is why I love my therapist, because
Drop my wallet.
And like you, though, he's really good at helping me see what I'm doing well in life so I can apply it to my life. And my therapist tells me all the time, you're too hard on yourself, and that helps me snap out of it.
Oh, snap out of it. I think for both of us, too, growing up in the South meant never congratulating yourself on anything, because it meant that if you would be too high on yourself, or you were being immodest, or at worst, arrogant.
Ooh, no ma'am, no ma'am.
So the idea of owning what I'm actually good at and doing well at kind of made me feel gross, and it shouldn't be that way. So my therapist, who I actually found on BetterHelp, has helped me to let go of the cultural idea of what I should be doing, and she's helping me find my own strength. I didn't know my own strength, and I crashed down.
No. We got to move on. This is already a long show.
Fine.
Sissies, if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Y'all do it. It's time to celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/realitygaze to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/realitygaze. Somebody poo-pooed there.
Oh, boy.
I'm Miss Debbie. I'm a tad flamboyant at times. The alpacas are gentle creatures. We can learn a lot from them and build trust.
I'm totally fine with, this is great, because I am losing my voice, so I'm just going to sit here in this segment and let you do your magic.
I love alpacas. And I have decided I want to have an art studio and petting zoo. The world needs this. We need hugs, man. I'm Miss Debbie, and I've been home from Morocco for 6 months. His loss. But I still want a husband and partner. And in my painting, I transformed Oshama into death, and I had to put this girl with eyes in the back of her and in her back so she could see what Oshama. And you see the lion. The
That was
lion has
beautiful.
sad eyes.
That was beautiful, that painting. And that I was like, that is what art does. Art heals.
I am fascinated with this woman.
I love the painting.
And she says, Oshama's everywhere in my house, in my mind, in everywhere. And then he's still blowing up my phone. I put him on silent and I can feel him pounding on my door.
I love, though, that I'm kind of here for her making this cool space.
Me too.
It's like a petting zoo and an art studio.
I can kind of see it.
Kind of. I think it could work so well. And I think I could see her having schools come and go do this and like different organizations. Debbie, the way she is, I bet she works really well with people, kids and adults that have different learning capabilities or disabled. Like, I bet it would be fantastic.
Y'all, because she lives on a planet way, way over there.
Way over there. But I can't think of someone the least judgmental person on 90 Day we've ever seen.
Well, to an extent, when I think she still has issues of when the old guy. When I agree with you, I think she can meet someone where they are. Mm-hmm. But I think when it comes to men, this is going to be very interesting. But y'all, if you don't know Miss Debbie and her first season with Oshama, first of all, what are you doing with your life? You need to go and watch that season because it was cuckoo and some of our best work.
I mean, I gotta say, 90 Day had like a little lull in the middle, and we had 2 seasons of Happily Ever After that we didn't need. But it's really this last year and a half have been chef's kiss.
I agree. So Miss Debbie's at the alpaca ranch, and she's got a new fan. So the peacock fan has been replaced by this kind of ostrich feather fan, which I'm in love with.
It's pretty. I like that she's from. She says she's
Sugar Hill, Georgia.
Yeah, the other. I bet Sugar Hill's not really, but she just likes saying Sugar Hill.
She's not from. We spent a lot of time trying to place her accent, and she actually.
No. You spent a lot of time trying to place her accent because you're obsessed about that. I don't give a shit.
There were some 3 listeners who were interested, like I was, because it was a very unique. I think partially due to her dental situation going on. I think she may have some. I think. There may be some partials and things that she's going through to say certain words.
Been there. I got my braces. You got your whistle.
Yeah. When are you getting those off again?
Where are you getting your whistle fixed? Although I don't mind it. I think it's cute. Does it whistle when you suck dick quick? Does it go?
So Debbie loves the alpacas. They're gentle creatures.
I'm sorry.
I'll let you cough your head off. Anyway, she has been home from Morocco for 6 months, and she's looking for love. And he apparently is still blowing up her phone. I wonder if that will be a. She's still trying to shuck me back in, but y'all, she is at a salsa club with her best friends Raya and Mitch. These 2 totally give me Rosemary's Baby neighbor vibes. They're totally like witches. They're trying to sacrifice Debbie. It's another Danielle.
I haven't seen Rosemary's Baby.
Come on!
I haven't.
Seriously?
It's a scary
fantastic film.
It's scary. I don't want to see a scary
film.
It's
not it is scary, but it's a horror. It's a classic horror movie that's made so well. And you're such a rube. I'm sorry. You need to see that movie. I don't care if it's scary.
Well, I did.
They're totally Minnie and Roman Castrovet.
I didn't really watch any old movies on the plane, so I don't have any recommendations. So.
Tell me you've seen Saltburn by now. Please.
What's that?
You're joking.
No, what's Saltburn? What is
Everyone
that?
in America knows what this is. If you've
Is
been
it a
on TikTok,
documentary?
you know it. You're fucking with me.
No.
You know what Saltburn is.
No, is it
It's a
like
movie.
Saltgrass House Steakhouse?
It is a movie that is out right now with Jacob Elordi and Barry Keoghan, and it is there's like people were reacting on TikTok to certain scenes in it.
Oh, is that why I keep seeing these things of Jacob Elordi? I'm like, he's pretty, but I'm
Yes!
like, why is everybody talking about this guy?
Because you're like underwater.
Do they do gay shit?
You know, I'm not going to oversimplify this for you. You need to watch the fucking film, and then we can discuss. That's ridiculous. Where are you? You know, people who haven't seen the movie, you log on to Amazon and you're like, you see this thing to Saltburn, and you see Jacob Elordi's face. Every gay man will want to watch that. How have you avoided that?
I don't open a lot of Amazon, but I'm sorry.
You need to apologize.
I was about to watch The Boys finally because you told me to. Actually, I was going to watch it because I always wanted to. I just never got around to it.
It's so good. But you need to fucking watch Saltburn so you can know what the discourse of the world has been for the last month.
Well, I just finished on the plane because they had them. I've been watching them I just finished season 1 of Abbott Elementary. I get why Cheryl Lee Ralph won that Emmy. She's great. I love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show. Yeah, I need to take a moment. You please.
All right, I'll fit it in, but I'm catching up on a season of Young Sheldon before the new season comes out.
Before our recording of 90 Day happens, you need to certain movies are cultural touchstones, and we're going to need to have a discussion about the movie.
So Saltworm is a cultural
Saltburn, you bitch.
It's a cultural touchstone.
Yes. Because it's an idea of whether
I was going to go see Wonka, but I guess not now.
Oh, it's not good.
I've heard it is good.
Where'd you hear that? Your friend Donnell's Letterboxd review?
Timothy Chalamet said it was really good on
he's in
his
it.
interview with Graham Norton.
You know, I can't
That
really
is a great episode, by the way.
I can't really say. I've just heard it. I've heard mixed things, and I
thought you would have saw that with your nephews.
They wanted to go, but we didn't have time.
That would have been. I did go see The Iron Claw. A lot of people which is about the Von Erich family. So with Zac Efron and the guy from The Bear.
Yeah, I'm aware.
You should see. You should see that movie.
The only thing gayer than Saltburn is that movie.
Okay, that's fair because there's a lot of underwear and they're naked all the time.
I mean, honestly, I can't even say anything more about it, but as a person who is living in this world, concerned with things that are queer content,
I was traveling.
It has been out it's been in theaters for almost 2 months in Los Angeles.
Well, okay. Well, you never told me about it.
And it's been on Amazon for... or maybe HBO. I can't remember which one it is. It's been on there for like maybe 3 weeks or a month.
Saltburn. Got it.
Saltburn, you fucking rube.
Okay, okay. I will watch it. I did just start watching Loot on the plane with Maya Rudolph. Love it.
Okay, you need to watch things that are important.
Okay, fine. I'll watch it. Anyway, Iron Claw though, y'all, because some of y'all were asking me about it. I didn't wait to go.
This is not movie review corner.
But I'm just saying, wait to see it at home. The script's not great. The performances are good, but the script's not great.
For those of you
and they cut out one of the kids
wrestling.
Well, no, it's about the family curse in North Texas, and so and they cut out. They totally cut out. Is it Michael with the one who killed himself by suicide? They totally cut it out. Shit.
I'm still furious that you haven't seen Saltburn.
Well, they cut it out because it was two sides. Anyway, all right. Saltburn, got it.
Like everyone who has seen anything in the media for the last 2 months just went, "How has he not seen that movie?"
I've been busy.
No. You just choose to watch other things.
Where were we?
I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, they're at a salsa club because I know where we were because I said you needed to watch fucking Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, she is at a salsa club because she loves salsa with Raya and Mitch. They're weird.
Well,
they're strange people.
They're strange. I wasn't say Rosemary, but they do. The farmer people look like swingers. The alpaca farmers she met? They look like swingers.
Oh!
I get that vibe from them. We also should say
all farmer people kind of feel like swingers to me.
I guess younger
especially
ones,
urban, younger farmers.
No, that's just because guys you date look like that, have dirt on them, and smell like the earth.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on, but you're jumping ahead. That we did get some. We did get some backstory, a little bit about
yes.
Debbie. That
I have this written as a monologue that I'm going to deliver.
Well,
I used to be a disco queen. I always got my bra snapped. That was the thing the boys did. I met my first husband, then had Julian. But I met my second husband at a dance club. He was from Peru. What they say about hot and laughing lovers is true. The charisma, the romance, the mystique. He was sitting on two legs, and my two legs couldn't walk the next day. I was married to him for 23 years, but his problem was he couldn't keep what was in his pants, so I kicked his butt to the curb. Being single at 67 is confusing.
Wow, that's pretty good. We learned but it makes sense though. Now we learn when Debbie said she didn't. Literally, it was like 23 years she's with this guy, and then he cheats on her.
Yeah.
So, and
I
now
think he cheated
Osama,
a lot. I think he cheated a lot.
Yeah. But I think that she is hard. It's incredibly hard for her to trust people.
I agree. I think 23 years. I think someone doesn't cheat out of nowhere.
I think Debbie would have actually married the guy who sells roses that fucked her in the alley. She would have gone through with
probably.
Yeah.
But y'all, she's looking for dating, and she's thinking for 50s on up, and she's dancing with this guy, and he just first of all, the rough thing is for Debbie here is that men who are in their 50s and 60s are going to look at younger men in there, or women. What am I? Sorry. Where am I? They are going to look at younger women in their 20s and 30s. That is something men are going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it says she reminded me of my ex with this guy because he was looking at her. And she says, I'm looking for some sincere fairy book stuff for Prince Charming. I hope he can find me. Debbie, I want you to be realistic here. I have the most hopes for her of anybody this season.
I don't, honey.
Well,
I think that's because you love her so much. And I love her too. But I'm actually really concerned that she'll get taken advantage of again. Like I'm feeling for Julian, because probably every time his mom calls and says, I met someone, they go, oh God. Because I feel like she believes she's not dumb. She is not dumb. Like I gotta say, when Osama was fucking her over, she was quick. As soon as he turned and showed his cards,
well, when I come to the U.S.,
she immediately pressed it, and it was like 2 episodes, and she was like, "Nope, I'm gone." A lot of people on 90 Day
for Texas margaritas out here.
Exactly. Oh, so good.
Remember, one of the greatest lines ever.
One of the greatest. But think about,
she was in a literal desert.
She was in a desert. But most people, that would have gone on the whole, that would have been half a season of them going, do I don't I don't know.
It would have been.
Didn't. So good for her, but I don't know. She's just so trusting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think that's the show, y'all. I'm excited to see where this goes. We
I'm
have
exhausted.
2 more: John and Sparkles,
Sparkles
and Veronica and
Ooh,
Jamal.
And Jamal. Ooh.
I really
But
like
I can't
Jamal.
date him. I'm not doing pretty anymore. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I really liked Jamal at first. I'm worried Jamal's going to just turn out to be a douchebag with pretty words.
Like he would do like a Matt Rife situation where people think they're funny and interesting, and then he gets famous and then just shows like just that douchery side of himself.
Did Matt Rife ever show anything besides being a douche?
Well, people liked him. I liked even some of his art. He's friends with one of my good comic friends, Paul, who you once sexually harassed at a comedy show.
Because he's hot.
Paul Elia, he's very hot. He's very funny.
He was asking for it.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about. Wow. Okay, we're going to move on. Not talk about those two. I really like Jamal too. I really like.
That's not what I said.
Well, no,
I really liked.
But you said like you don't have a. You said you were kind of on the fence about it.
No, I said. Here's what I said. I said I kind of liked him at first. I said, but I feel like he's just a douche with pretty words.
I don't know. I feel like he has a good heart. I feel like Jamal. I think he's probably had to take maybe I relate to him because I feel like he is definitely a parentified child, and I was too, and he had to help his mom and take care of his mom a lot. So I probably give him an excuse on that. We'll see how this, and because he's hot.
No shit. Just like the guy who sold roses. Rate roses.
Adolfo is his Christian name.
Rate roses as on a scale from 1 to 10 appearance wise. Where was he?
Like a 4. What?
That's setting the. You know what? I'm trying to poodle. I'm not going to yell at that. Here's the thing, sweetie. Even if you are trying to set your sights low, never go below a 5. Never go below a 5. We got a lot to learn. You didn't tell me that
when you started this. You didn't write a book.
No, never go below a 5.
You didn't tell me, so how would I know? I can't be blamed. That's not on me. That's on you.
You need to find a 6 with self-image issues. Yeah. They'll be great for the night, but easy to throw away.
I think maybe I just need I don't know. That's okay.
We're gonna have to, and I'm gonna be like the pickup artist wearing one of those hats. And we're gonna go out to Akbar, and I'm like, no, not that one.
No, you'll just put like a shock collar on me, and I'll go up to a guy. He'll say, "Hey, how are you?" And I'll just go, "Ah!" That's what'll happen.
And while you're talking to one of the queer deers that one brings, I'll be like, "You're like, my friend's helping me out," and I'll just be like making out on the dance floor
with the guy that I said at the first of the night who said was cute, and you said no, he's not, and then you're making out with him.
Yeah, that's my style. That's the show. God, this was a long one. Fuck.
It is. We'll try not to be as long on these. It's an hour and a half show. We do normally, think about it, y'all. We would do this show in 2 episodes. So
I feel like every episode going to be 2 hours?
Well, see, Single Life fucked us because it originally was an hour, and now every episode is going to be 2 hours. We can break it up. We could break it up into shows if we want, but we'd have to talk about that. That would completely redo the schedule, and you'd have to change the Donna list.
No, I'm not doing that. It's just it's a lot of content.
I think we're going to try to
stop whining.
Yeah, it's shut the fuck up. This is a fun job. Just eat it and do it.
Oof. 2 of my favorite things.
Wow. All right, everybody. That is the show. So be sure to stay tuned for on next week's 90 Day, because we're recording later this week, but that is where Poodle's going to talk about his holidays.
There were stories to be had.
You're going to hear about that. And then, we've got Smothered's going strong. We will, for the people that are on RG tier, RG Plus to tier 8, we our $8 tier, we will be doing Smothered and Love After Lockup that aired during the break. So we will have separate episodes for those for you. Other than that, anything? I think that's about it. Nothing new. Nothing new shows coming out in January. Like we're good, right?
No, not for January. February, we may have some new things.
For February, we have Love Is Blind.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. I'm so glad it's back. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yes. And if you are finally ready to get back out there after 6 months after your divorce,
Jesus.
Finally, you're ready.
Finally.
A good 6 months of healing. You can call us.